F1 Manager 24 Season 3 Mega Gamer F1. Let's go. We got the 21st and 22nd best car on the grid for the Austrian Grand Prix at round 1.
Setting of Austria. The beginning of a brand new Formula 1 season. Every team, every driver, whether rookies or champions, all start here on zero, ahead of another year's battle for glory.
The teams will be utilising the data they gathered from the pre-season testing here in Bahrain, hoping that they've got everything they need to make a strong start.
Let's see what the weekend has in store.
Reminds me of the 2020 season where they had Austria as round 1 in that season. Simulating Q1, we're going to simulate the entire season to get to a point where we have a better car. Lawson qualifies 22nd and Stroll qualifies 19th, and Wasser in P3 and Perez in P8. We have created a monster with Haas.
Here among the mountains in Austria, the teams are preparing for the 71 laps of today's race.
4 years on from the circuit being renamed to the Red Bull Ring, Max Verstappen became the first driver to bring an eponymous car to victory here in 2018.
Spielberg's challenges are all about overtaking. The DRS zones here mean passing is very possible, especially if your tyres are in a better condition than the next cars. But get caught out having to manage less than fresh tyres? You could be a sitting duck. It's race day with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go. Now after the excitement of that race, we can now see Esteban Ocon.
That marked an 8th place finish, which gives them a handful of points.
And no doubt, Verstappen fans will be celebrating the Dutchman's achievement.
That gives them their first win of the season, and it was really well deserved.
Well, there were mountains to overcome here in Austria, but those three managed to climb to the top. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though.
And that's it for this weekend here in Austria.
Next time, the teams will be adding another year to the legend of Spa-Francorchamps. Anything can happen at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Us getting such strong results on a P4 and a P7 on race day is proof that I can develop a car. I don't have a lot of confidence inside myself within this game, but that is proof that we can build a car, and we can definitely take that into this team and build on to next season. We get 18th and 19th in that race, and Haas are most probably P3 in the constructors, which is awesome to see. And Owasa, who we took on for Haas, you know, that's Owasa and Gio. Now it's Owasa and Perez, and I can't wait to see them do awesome. We get P7 in the Pit Stop Championship, which puts us 7th in the Constructors in that championship. But yeah, we get 248k, and I can't believe that Lance Stroll has a 210 grand bonus for finishing 20th or higher. And here we are deciding our pit stop drill, our pit stop training schedule. I mean, most of it is gym training to try and get it as quickly, because gym training makes the pit stops quicker, but pit stop drill and rest makes less mistakes. And obviously car building does car building, but if you're worrying about car building, your Grand Prix is mudded already. Here we are doing a new design on some side pods as our second upgrade to the season, because if you missed, well, I tried uploading the pre-season episode, but there was an issue with the upload on YouTube, and I deleted the footage thinking it had already uploaded, so we won't make that mistake again. There's a design on the side pod. We got Jeremy Cotterell as a new sporting director. Lance Stroll and Stuart King have some problems, and we're going to go for 21st
This weekend,
and 21st or above of both drivers for the Belgian Grand Prix.
In the last round, Max Verstappen flew to victory, the Dutchman proving that he can be absolutely unstoppable when he's in such fine form. Stay with us then for what should be an exciting weekend.
Will round 2 be any better than round 1? Simulating Q1. What we're going to get in this session is going to be P21 and P22. What we expect: Perez and Iwasa P2 and P4. And at the end of it, Iwasa gets P2 and Perez gets P8. We have created an absolute rocket ship.
Well, it's a fantastic turnout, as it always is here in Belgium, as we prepare for 44 laps around Spa.
Motor car racing didn't have the best of starts at Spa-Francorchamps. Only one driver registered for the very first car race back in 1921, so a motorbike race replaced it instead. Times have changed, and now Spa is a solid fixture on the F1 calendar.
This circuit was built in 1921, and even though its length was halved in 1979, the Belgian Grand Prix is still one of the longest, fastest, and most magical races on the F1 calendar. Well, there's nothing quite like it. Welcome along to race day. Now that's an excellent drive today from Esteban Ocon.
That really was such a strong performance, and they come away from today with a top 10 finish. Amazing, really, really good for the team.
That makes it all worth it, doesn't it? Seeing your team ready to share the celebrations. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
That is that for this weekend's F1 action here in Belgium.
For the next Grand Prix, make sure you join us at the renowned city circuit of Monaco. Prepare yourselves for one of the most legendary rounds of the season.
It's a shame that we don't get to spend more time at Haas, but it's a creator team career mode, not a Haas career mode. Iwasa gets P2, which is mental, and Perez gets P9. And Perez has been underperforming. I thought he'd be the clear number 1 driver in that team, but apparently not. Théo Pourchaire gets P7, kicks Sauber very strong. And we get P18 and P20, which is good because it means both drivers get their sponsor money. That's all this season's going to be about, as Iwasa is 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. All this season's going to be about is just getting our sponsor money and just hitting our targets, sponsor-wise, board-wise, and just trying to do everything we can to get as high as we can in the championship order. There was a pit stop mistake for Lance Stroll, but yeah, we got our sponsor money. That's the most important thing. Our targets for Monaco are actually 19th on the grid, so we're going to go 20th or higher for Lawson, and we're going to go 20th or higher for Lance Stroll as well. Let's head into round 3 at Monaco, hopefully better than the first 2 rounds.
Here in Monaco. Cars have been racing through Monaco's streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo.
Red Bull have outscored their rivals to be at the top of the constructors' table right now. But that could still change with so many rounds left ahead of us.
It's time then for another thrilling weekend of F1 drama.
Obviously the sprint races as well are random. We qualify 21st with Lawson, 18th with Stroll, Q1 Max tops, but at the end of Q3 Oscar gets P1 from Lando, from Carlos, from Iwasa, from Max and Perez.
The streets of Monte Carlo are ready as the drivers now prepare for 78 laps around this historic track.
Monaco can hand out unpredictable results, just like in 1982, when 4 race leaders hit trouble. Riccardo Patrese eventually claimed the win after managing to restart his stalled car by himself with a downhill bump start.
The world's most famous street track, Circuit de Monaco, and it demands total accuracy from teams and drivers alike. Pit stops are crucially important for passing here, so timing them right can be the key to victory. Welcome to race day, and before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made. What a masterclass drive from Pierre Gasly today.
There wasn't too much expectation on them today, but they fought hard and found themselves in the points.
The team has been waiting patiently there, and you can see just how much it means to each and every one of them. Lando Norris certainly loves a podium, heading up there now to celebrate again.
Their first win of the season, and the team looking on will be very proud, I'm sure.
Always a special occasion here in the incomparable Monte Carlo. They'll be pushing the boat out here tonight, no doubt. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though.
And thank you everyone for joining us this weekend here in Monaco.
For the next round, the teams are travelling to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal.
Two McLarens and a Red Bull on the podium, and both Kick Saubers in the top 6. What's that? 18 points? No, 19 points for Kick Sauber that race. That is a mental race for them. Iwasa gets P4, Perez P8. So Haas get onto a decent haul of points. I'm always going to look out for Haas. Stroll got P12, up 6 places, which is a mega race at Monaco. And Lawson, unfortunately, DNF. But yeah, we'll always, hopefully he hasn't destroyed the car too much and Iwasa goes down 1 place in the championship. But we'll always be looking out for Haas, because that's our team when we spent season 2. We'll always be looking out for them. They were consistent point scorers when we had them. Now they're on the run for the podium and things like that. We get a side pod design complete, and then we're doing more training schedules on the pit stops. Gym training. Just really sabotage the car building, because you don't need it really. The only time you need car building is like for front wings and stuff, and I mean, if your front wing's broken, your race is fucked, I can guarantee it. But sorry for the language. There's the target achieved on the sponsor plan. Oh no, by quite some way. We've got 2.1 million from engagement and no money from mandatory activities, but that's good enough. And we're assigning next sponsor plan, where we're going to use I think we're going to use both our affiliate drivers to do that. So the affiliate drivers are important for that, but I'll be honest, I've recorded the first 18 races of the season, and I've not even checked the affiliate drivers to see what sort of a contract they're on. We're going to go for 21st or higher with both drivers into the Canadian Grand Prix, Lance Stroll's home race.
To get underway. Let's hope it's not going to be Groundhog Day. The local rodents have disrupted more than one race day here in the past. The Canadian Grand Prix is ready to kick off, and the only drama on the tracks we want to see is the best drivers in the world battling it out for a place on that podium.
At the top of the constructors' standings right now, it's McLaren. But there are a lot of contenders and plenty of races still to go.
It's shaping up to be a great weekend, so don't go anywhere.
So far in this season, 4 rounds in, it doesn't appear that we have a clear number 1 driver at our team. Lawson qualifies P17, Stroll qualifies P19, but there's been no real number 1 driver. P5 and P9 for Haas, and what was it, P18 and P19 for us.
The Canadian Grand Prix await our drivers here in Montreal.
Named after the legendary Canadian driver, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve has been host to plenty of first-time winners. Jean Alesi, Lewis Hamilton, Robert Kubica and Daniel Ricciardo all got their maiden victories here.
With a flat-out section of over a kilometre in Sector 3, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is a track that asks, who dares brake last? And that means it's tough on tyres and brake temperatures the whole way round. The excitement is building, there's electricity in the air. But there's no surprise in that, it's race day. Not a quick race to sum up, not least for George Russell there.
Just out of the points today with a P12 finish in the end.
With such a strong performance from Piastri, there's no denying that he's earned that place on the podium today.
And that's win number 1 of the season, and it's sure to provide them with a real confidence boost.
Plenty of smiles for the cameras as the drivers can let off some steam here in Montreal. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And that's it for this weekend's F1 action here in Montreal.
Next round, we're moving on to an exhilarating circuit. Formula One will be taking to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Kick Sauber on the podium before Haas. God, this season does throw up some surprises. I mean, heck, I mean, Perez had a stinker of a race. We got P16 and P17, which is good. Lando got P20, that's awful. Oscar's up to P2 in the standings now. But yeah, this 2026 season keeps throwing surprises at us. We get P6 in the Pit Stop Championship, and that takes us above Williams in that championship. It was one of Lance Stroll's pit stops. We get our sponsor money. We have a regulation vote for minor changes or moderate changes. I'm going to go for moderate changes because we're going to put all of our development into research, so we want the changes to be big and affect the big teams. We're going to go for 21st or higher with both cars for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Three Springs Valley, here in Hungary. You're joining us in Budapest for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Budapest was formerly 3 cities, and today they're all coming together to kick off what we hope will be a thrilling weekend of racing.
Don't forget, the schedule this weekend sees the drivers take to the track for an all-out sprint race. A good opportunity to clinch some crucial championship points.
Stay with us then as the weekend gets underway.
Again, last time we saw a Hungarian Grand Prix this early was in 2020, so it feels a bit weird. This race is also a sprint race, by the way, and in sprint quality, Lawson gets 17th and Stroll got 21st, and Iwasa is P2, Perez is P6. We have genuinely created a monster, and in the sprint race, Iwasa gets his first ever victory. Perez had a bad race, but Haas have their first victory, or second if you include our sprint races. I think we won the sprint race, and we get 21st and 19th in normal quali, and Iwasa gets pole and Perez gets P3.
There's a fantastic atmosphere here at the Hungaroring today as we prepare for 70 laps of thrilling F1 action.
The heart may be in Budapest, but the racing soul is right here. Decades of F1 history saturate every turn of the Hungaroring, including the 1989 Grand Prix, where Nigel Mansell bullied his way from a P12 start to an ultimate victory.
The Hungaroring is one challenging succession of corners and turns. With few straights, it's affectionately known as the go-kart circuit. Drivers will have to find a proper rhythm to make the most of the layout, and for cars, low-speed downforce will be paramount. Here we are, folks, we're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day. A great drive today from Max Verstappen.
That was a really well executed race, I thought. Major credit to the driver, the pit wall, and the whole team for that win.
But just look at this. The overwhelming excitement for those celebrating this achievement. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though.
And that then marks the end of our time here in Hungary.
We now look ahead to the next round in Monza in Italy. The Temple of Speed is waiting and the teams will be ready and raring to go.
Unfortunately, Iwasa couldn't convert that pole to victory. Another really good race for Kick Sauber, 6th and 7th. But this championship's really tightening up. Norris had another bad race, down 9 positions. We got 15th and 14th, I think that was, or was it 15th and 16th? I'm not sure. But it was a good race for us, although I think there's... How many teams have not scored points? Just 3? No, just 2, us and Alpine. We didn't get any points in the pit stop championship. That's actually quite bad, considering that Williams managed to get one, which is the team behind us. But we managed to get Target again and bring in the sponsor money. And now we're researching a chassis. See what I mean? And we're going to put all our hours into it. So I'm not sure if we're going to have the development money for anything else. So I don't want to lose any development time when it costs the same amount. But that's big for the chassis research. So let's get that done and ready for next season. And now we're doing the pit stop training schedule again, where again we're going to go for gym training and pit stop drill, because that's how you iron out mistakes. Chance of a mistake down 0.4%. And in this race we're going to go for 21st or above with both drivers again here at Monza.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, with the Italian Grand Prix. Welcome to life in the fast lane. We're here at Monza in Italy, the home of Ferrari. But who will take home the points this weekend?
This weekend will be taking a slightly different form as we have the addition of a thrilling sprint race thrown into the mix.
Now let's crack on with the weekend.
Simulating sprint Q1. Because Monza's a sprint weekend as well. Continue, and we didn't get the thing that says one of our drivers is out. Lance Stroll's eliminated in P22, but Liam Lawson has made it to Q2. Lance Stroll didn't, but Liam Lawson has managed the next session. Is Lawson going to be knocked out in Q2? Yes, he is, unfortunately. It's P16 and P22 on the grid for sprint qualifying. Piastri gets pole from Iwasa, from Max, from Zhou, and Perez down in P8. Bring on the sprint race. And in the sprint race, talking of said sprint race, we're going to simulate it now. What's going to happen? Who's going to win? Can we get any points? I doubt it. Max wins from Iwasa, Piastri, Zhou, Ocon, Bottas, Albon, Perez, Leclerc, Norris. Again, Norris with another bad race. He's really been having bad on Sainz as well. We get P18 and P21. And into qualifying in Q1. Which one of our drivers is going to get knocked out? Will it be both of them? Yes, it will. P22 for Lawson, P19 for Lance Stroll. And in qualifying, Iwasa gets his second pole of the season with Perez P7. Bring on race day. I like how it's simulating all the times as we scroll down. Leclerc got knocked out in Monza. That is not a place you want to be knocked out with for Ferrari.
Well, it won't be long before the drivers hit the track for 53 laps around Monza in what should be a fast and fantastic race.
Monza has seen some incredible moments in the past. Pierre Gasly's unexpected 2020 victory reminded us of how wonderfully unpredictable this sport can be.
At Monza, the aim is clear. Pure acceleration is what the track demands, and every F1 driver is only too happy to submit. Cars that struggle for downforce elsewhere can really come into their own around this gem of a circuit. It's race day, and final preparations are underway. Valtteri Bottas there, coming back to the team now.
just out of the points today with a P12 finish in the end.
And the talented veteran rounds off another great drive, adding to his impressive F1 podium tally.
That gives them their first win of the season, and it was really well deserved.
And that, right there, is a picture-perfect end to this weekend in Monza. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And with that, our time in Italy is done for another year.
Coming up in the next round is the Sao Paulo Grand Prix as we head to Brazil. Join us next time at Interlagos.
Daniel Ricciardo returns to the podium. Just what is going on this season? Russell got second from 17th and Alonso won from 15th. That is mental to think about. Charles Leclerc got 7th. Logan Sargent got points for Alpine, which means we are now the only team without points, but both Mercedes made a combined total of 29 positions. Iwasa went down 10, he had a bad race. Sainz went down 10, he had a bad race, but we got 17th and 19th, which means we made target, which is all we can do as a team, but the championship is all over the place now. Alonso up 7, Russell up 3, Perez down, we stay last. In the constructors, Alpine stretched 2 points away from us. At least we got 4 points in the pit stop championship, which puts us ahead of Aston Martin, and we make sponsor target, and we have another sponsor plan, which means we get our total target of 2.1 million, and we get 4.7 million from some activities, which means we're going to do some designs. We're going to do what are we going to do? I don't know. I'm waiting to see what we're going to do. I can't remember. It's honestly been so long ago. We're going to do a research on the front wing. No, we're going to do a research on the underfloor. And that is done. 26 days. That's going to take. That won't take too long. That'll be done fairly soon, I think. But yeah, underfloor chassis, front wing and rear wing are the main big ones, whereas side pods and suspension are a little bit more minor than the rest, and we're going to take some engineers off other projects so we can get more being done, and we're going to design a new of side pods? No, I have no idea what we're doing. I'll make my mind up eventually, I'm sure. We're going to design some new... No, we're not. Here we go. What we're going to design? No, we're going to research side pods after all that. There you go. Research is complete on side pods. And we're deciding our new sponsor plan to see what objectives we should get. And there's an affiliate thing for Gabriel Bortoleto, I think, that we're going to pick, because I don't know what any of this actually changes. But if you did enjoy, be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time for the next 6 races of F1 Manager Season 3.